folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. Today we have the top 10 market movers in April 2024. Now these cards have been moving for the past week, if not month or 2 months. And the reason I like making videos like this is it brings it to your attention if you aren't constantly engrossed in the market, knowing every single move that happens every single day. Some of you might say, yeah, Alex, we know we haven't been living under a rock. But some of these cards in here, there's a few of them that might catch you off guard that you might not know have been moving. And another reason I like these videos is it just kind of brings it to your attention that stuff is moving throughout the market, and you might want to look around, maybe even a little deeper on some things, because if not, you might miss it. So let's jump into this right away. Before we do that, you guys know I got to give a shout out to Low Poppin. Guys, lowpoppin.com is something for everyone. Check this out. Check some of these cards out. They got the Altar Charizard on here, right? They got the full art Charizard in a PSA 10 from Flashfire. They even got the Moonbreon, as well as tons of other modern, vintage, Japanese, English. It doesn't matter. They got it. If you see something you like, you just click on it. You can always add it to cart. If it's over $500, you can make an offer. And if it's over $1,000, you can actually buy now and pay later. As always, they do buy, sell, or trade. If you're looking to sell anything or try to trade for one of the cards, you can do that. So Low Poppin's link will be in the description in the comments section below. All right, first card up, Magikarp. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you know about it. This is absolutely bonkers. This is Paldea Evolved, guys. This is a set that's, what, a year old or so? This is a set that could very likely see a reprint before the Scarlet Violet era first block is out of rotation, not getting reprinted anymore. However, it's not stopping anyone from sending this thing flying. As you can see, this card was clearly under $70, if not under $60 for a minute. And it's now spiked. This chart doesn't do it justice. It's showing like in the 85 range. No. It's way up here. As you can see, a sale right here for $100. As you can see, the lowest one listed on TCG Player is in the 1 teens now. Not only that, the PSA 10 price is out of hand. We are seeing now auctions end over $600, $600 buy it now sales. This card is, I would say, probably the craziest mover that we've seen. There's a lot of alt arts that are moving. There's other cards that are moving. But to see a card this new that's not even a top hit in a set, it's actually just a regular illustration rare to do this. It's pretty crazy. Not only that, as you probably know already, I wanted to show you, it has now taken the place as the top card in the set over the Iono SIR. So the Fishy is now the main attraction. Next up, guys, the Umon V. Now, a lot of you know PokeRev actually talked about this card in one of his videos, and here is the PokeRev effect in this hobby. The card jumped from in the 80s all the way up into the high hundreds. As you can see here, the lowest listing now is $190. Not only that, this card is now selling for over $300 in a PSA 10 at auction. If we go look at the lowest sales and we kind of look what it was selling for, as you can see back in February, this was clearly a $150 card, $160 card. So it's basically doubled now in the past week or so, a couple of weeks. I mean, it's absolutely bonkers. So there you go. There's the Umbreon. Obviously, the Umon Vmax. I won't spend too much time on this. You guys already know the story with this thing. It's going out of control. We are starting to see some lower listings. I mean, this guy, 66.7%, only 8 sales. I don't know if anyone's buying that, but this person, 100% free sales, got it listed under around $650. Then it does jump up to $700 again, and then up from there. Now, the PSA 10 price, $1,200. This is a $1,200 card, okay? If we just scroll back a little ways and look what it was going for, this was clearly in the $800 range or less back in February and January. So we're seeing a 50% move on this card in literally a month to 2 months. Insanity. The Gutina Altar. This thing it defies all logic at this point. It is clear that Lost Origin is going to be a strong booster box just because of this card alone. Taking out the Aerodactyl, the Trainer Gallery, all that. Take a look, guys. Look at this card. Straight up in the past 3 months. In the past month, it's basically parabolic. If you look at what it's going for raw, here's the kicker, right? The other cards don't have as big, the other alt-arts, they don't have as big of multiples. This card, it's selling in the high 200s, right? The 10 is now a $700 plus card. $720 plus shipping. $720, $723. It's a $700 plus card. If we go back and look at what it was selling for, look at this. In March, or sorry, these are probably a low sale from Columbia. Right here, February, 500, right? 515, 510, 528. This was a low $500 card. now in the low 700s. So we're talking 40, a little over 40% move. And the multiple, $700 for a $200 and something raw card. The multiple is there for all your graders out there. There's opportunity in Giratina. Now we got the Gengar Vmax, and after this, I got some you might not know about. All right, so I know everyone kind of knows about these moves. I got a couple coming out. You might be like, wait, what, Alex? What are you talking about? So stick with me. We got the Gengar Vmax, absolutely the same type of thing, going crazy like the other Altarts. It's a $300 raw card now. It's 600 plus in a PSA 10. Guys, $300 raw card, right? You could have bought it for that as a 10, basically, back in February. Back in February, you could have got this under $400 as a 10. Now you can barely pick that up for raw. So absolutely crazy move. It's close to 100% gain at this point. It's nearing in on about 80-90% gain on this card in a PSA 10. All right, ready for one you probably didn't know about? Iron Hands. That's right. So guys, if you guys don't know, with newer sets, especially when they're in rotation, there's such a thing as playability with the card game. And when a card becomes playable, the players like to bling up their decks, and they like to put the top rarity of the card in the decks. That's kind of why the hollow energies are valuable. People want those real nice, shiny, textured, whatever energies in their decks. They want to bling up their decks. Same thing's going with Iron Hands. Guys, disclaimer. This is not a card you want to collect right now. This is not a card you want to invest in or buy at a PSA 10, okay? Likely, 99.999% likely, when this card is no longer playable, when the set goes out of rotation, when other things take over, this card will see a drop off. This card will crash. It's only up because of the playability. What I'm talking about is, take a look, all right? Here's the card. It's now second in the set, ahead of the Iron Valiant and the Goldango and the Groudon. Here's the crazier part. The full art is up there. Not only that, you ready? The regular EX is ahead of SIRs, okay? That tells you this is not normal. This is the EX is a $20 card. This is a $20 card. And then now this is what's the Iron Hands going for raw? In the mid-30s, okay? Now, if you look at the PSA 10, you know, one ended around 60, some in the hundreds, some in the 70s. So it's all over the place. Guys, there's people paying money for it, but I don't see this having longevity. Just understand why this is happening. It's because this card is playable, and that will most likely drop off. The Iron Valiant will most likely take a second spot. The Goldango Groudon will be ahead of these in the future. But I did want to throw it out there because we are seeing, again, a massive uptick. If you look at this chart, just look at the 3-month chart. I mean, just like absolutely parabolic move. So just be careful on the Iron Hands. Ready for this one? Pikachu. Just regular old shiny Pikachu from Paldean Fates. Straight up. Just straight up. Selling, you know, high 30s, low 40s in a raw mint copy. Here's the Paldean Fates. Check this out. You got the Charizard, Mew, and Gardevoir. Pikachu. A regular shiny Pikachu is now the number 4 spot. The Iono takes 5, but then look at this. The shinies are just taking over these top spots. You got Charmander, Charmeleon, Pidgey, Snorlax. I mean, it's ahead of Penny. It's ahead of Arven. It's ahead of the green cards, which a lot of us knew wouldn't be the greatest performers. But it is wild to see these baby shinies so sought after when it's not really the case when you look at Shining Fates and Hidden Fates. And so, yeah, Pikachu is spiking. If you look at the graded version, it's selling in the high to mid hundreds in a graded 10. And so I don't know where all this is going to end. I mean, it's not a thing where it's like a playable card. It's just really sought after because it's Pikachu, shiny. So, and it is hard to pull because there are so many baby shinies. And so I don't know where this is going to end. This could hold up depending on how hard it is to grade and if reprints come. Next up, we're going back to the alt arts, guys. The alt art Machamp seeing a rise from the low 80s all the way into the hundreds in just a month. 1 month. 125, 133 lowest listings on the market. Okay. PSA 10, it's going for about $200. If we scroll back and look at what it was going for, well, it wasn't like the 130s. So very, very good uptick there. About a 50% uptick like we're seeing with everything else in the alt art world. Okay, here's a big one. The Blaziken. Obviously, the cool trainer Ryan, rip until you hit it, really caused a big stir. Sent it flying, right? It was about a $160 card. Now raw near mint, it's going for $300. So here's the thing. A lot of people are like that grade cards or collect graded cards. A lot of people like to grade them themselves because they can kind of have a margin built in. With Blaziken, it might make sense to buy the 10. The reason I say that is the 10 is only going for about $400, if not less. Look at these sales. April 4th, 360s, 350s. The near mint copy's $300. look, you can probably slide it through PSA at bulk, but if you get caught, they're going to upcharge you. If they upcharge you to a $40 tier or something, it's going to cost you basically as much to grade it yourself as to buy a 10. So if you want this card in your collection, it's almost worth it to just buy the 10 at this point instead of try to grade it. But Blazin has to make the list of top 10 movers. The last one, we're going back to Evolving Skies, guys. The Rayquaza Vmax. This one's crazy. So it's now selling for $280 to $300 in a near mint copy. A PSA 10 copy now is in the 500s. This is a $500 card. It's literally second to only Giratina and Gengar, other than the Moonbryon, as being like the fourth most valuable alt art in a 10 now, which is absolutely wild, and it's close to Gengar. If you go look at what it was selling for literally just a couple months ago, this was a $300 card, guys. This was in the 300s. 300s back in February, literally a month and a half ago, and now it is in the 500s. So absolutely, I mean, we're talking 50+% moves on this card. So absolutely ridiculous with Rayquaza. So let's go ahead and recap what we got going on. So first up, we got the, this is Low Poppin. Remember, check out Low Poppin, guys. First up, we got the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved. We got the Umon V, just the regular V from Evolving Skies. Umon Vmax from Evolving Skies. We got the Giratina from Lost Origin. The Gengar Vmax from Fusion Strike. The Iron Hands from Paradox Rift. We do have the shiny Pikachu from Paladin Fates. We got the Machamp. I just X'd out of it. We got the Machamp alt art from Astral Radiance. We got the Blazin Vmax from Chilling Reign. To end things off, we got the Rayquaza Vmax from Evolving Skies. So that's the top 10 market movers for the past week or few months, guys. Obviously, I'm not saying these are like run-outs and pickups and great investments. I just wanted to show kind of what's going on. If you want to ask me, like, what are great investments? Well, you might want to go look at some of the other alt-arts in these sets that haven't really taken off yet, or some of the other hits in some of these sets that haven't taken off, because they could be next once these reach heights that people can no longer afford or no longer want to afford, and other popular Pokemon haven't risen yet. So that's where I'd be looking. And it just shows you need to be looking around at all times, right? I'm sure a lot of people didn't see Iron Hands coming. A lot of people probably stopped paying attention to Paladin Fates and the Pikachu. There's always things moving in a market. And so even though Evolving Skies and other alt art sets are where the main focus is, make sure to continue to broaden your horizons and look around, because there's always a play out there somewhere. That's all I got today, guys. My name's Alex. This is Nostalgianomics. I'll be back here in a new video soon. I'm out.